I want to share with you a revelation about the Jews and Christ. In Matthew 21, Jesus rode in on a colt that had never been ridden before. And then the people began to lay out palm branches and said, Hosanna, exclaiming that he was the king that was coming. So the people received him as the king, and then the children cried that out. And the Jewish leaders said to Jesus that he should tell them to be quiet. And then they asked him, by what authority are you doing these things? Jesus said to them, I'll ask you a question. He says, John's baptism. If you can tell me the answer, I'll tell you by what authority I do these things. And so Jesus said, John's baptism, was it from heaven or from men? And the leaders said, well, if we say it was from heaven, then Jesus will ask, well, why didn't you believe him? If we say from men, they feared the people that they would stone him because all the people considered John to be a prophet. And they said, well, we don't know. And Jesus said, okay, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. The reason why Jesus referred to John's baptism was because John's baptism proclaimed Jesus as the coming Christ. That's why. If you take a look at his ministry, John baptized all of Israel that came to him, and then he told the nation that Jesus was the Christ. He was the Messiah, the Son of God. The Jewish leaders didn't want to accept it. They didn't want to believe John's baptism. And that's why Jesus asked them, was John's baptism from heaven or from men? And then they knew that he would ask them. If they said that it was from heaven, they knew that Jesus would ask, why did you not believe John? Believe him concerning what? Believe him that I am the Christ. That's what Jesus was getting to. And so if Jesus would have been able to tell them, well, if they would have said, yes, we believe that John's baptism was from heaven, Jesus would have then followed up by saying, the authority by which I do these things is the authority as the Messiah. Okay? So the Jews had no excuse when a prophet, which was the greatest prophet of all since Moses until John, came and told the whole nation that the Christ had come, the Messiah had come. That was John's baptism. So the Jews had no excuse, and yet to this day they have no excuse. The law and the prophets proclaim Jesus as the Christ. And back during that time, there was a major prophet named John, the son of the high priest, okay? The son of the high priest, who proclaimed Jesus to be the coming Messiah. So every Jew is bound by the law and the prophets to believe on Jesus as the Messiah, okay? Moses spoke about Christ. All the prophets spoke about Christ. And Jesus was and is the Christ. Amen. God bless you.